What's up, everybody? Look at all this paper. Words and paper, more paper. Woo, woo. I had an amazing couple days working on the lyrics for this track. And it's a beautiful day today, so what I'd like to do is take you out onto the bike path and show you where I do a good portion of my thinking, because sometimes it's good to get out of the studio and get some other sort of stimulation, get out into nature, all that kind of jazz. So, let's get this party started. Beautiful day, beautiful day. Come on. I'm so happy the weather's getting better. I'm so much more creative whenever it's nicer outside. You'd think because it's California that the weather's nice out here all the time. Actually, it used to be a lot nicer till they started spraying chemtrails everywhere. And if you don't believe in chemtrails, then you need to look it up. It's called geoengineering, and it screws up our beautiful days that we have out here. I wish somebody would fill us in on why they're doing this. And if it has something to do with climate change, then they should probably tell us. Fucking jerk-offs. So I stopped for a little while to have a look at Keith Flint's Wikipedia, and I just found out that today was the day of his funeral. Oh man. He owned a pub in Essex, and he was a pretty nice guy too. But it's good to know, it's good to have more insight on him. For this song, most of the lyrics seem to be coming rather easily though, which I'm very happy about. I guess maybe I was supposed to write this song. So I noticed when I was doing the stream of consciousness stuff today that every time that I got to a word where I thought, well, I shouldn't write this, and I just kept writing it anyway, it was those moments that had the most impact. And I think it's because during those moments, your mind is going off the tracks. It's accessing different thoughts that you don't normally think every day. And what you think every day is, okay, what am I going to do today? What am I going to eat? Where am I going to go? Etc., etc. So whenever you do that stream of consciousness, it opens up all kinds of new doors. I thought that was really cool. All right, I need to break up this section because it's going on too long and I didn't talk enough about the progress of the actual lyrics. So let's jump into the track and have a look. I truly believe that the vocal is the heart and the soul of the song. It's what connects the listener to the story that you're trying to tell. And even though that I enjoy doing guitars and keyboards and violin and mixing and all that other stuff, actually more than the vocal, I probably spend the most time getting the vocal perfect. Now once again, these are rough versions, so let's go into the track and take a listen. This blue part that's highlighted, that, don't forget, is also going to be at the top of the track as well. And I had hoped it will have a different meaning at the end, even though that it's the same lyrics. So let's listen to the end of the song, because that's where the bulk of the lyrics take place.
Yet sunrise brings dreams absolute. A glistening melody on waves I see adorned. New worlds are patiently just waiting to be born, be born, be born. Why, oh, why was I drawn into the flame, guided by the loss of my DJ, deceived by the fleeting high of fame?
All right. So I did a decent amount of research about Keith Flint and what he was going through at the time of his passing. And he was split up with his wife, who was a Japanese DJ. And I think that that probably had something to do with his desperate state of mind for him to have committed suicide. Ah, God, I just still can't believe it. So that's where the DJ line comes in. All right, let's go back out to the bike path. When I'm out here, I like to grab one of these. Piece of sage. Oh, it smells so good. I believe that when your mind is freed up, oftentimes you're able to access different thought processes. Usually what I'll do is I'll make a rough version with and without vocals, and I'll email them to myself so I could just have them on my phone, and I'll just throw on some headphones and come out here and then listen to the track over and over again. So yesterday I came up with some cool, what I thought was cool lyrics, but then I looked at them this morning and I thought, they could be better. So I revisited them and I changed a few lines, and I was very happy that I went back in, because even though that they were poetic, they didn't have as much meaning as I hoped for. The new ones are right on. So if you're ever wondering if the vocal is just right, or if it's in tune, or if the lyrics are right or not, revisit them. Always revisit them. There comes a time where you have to say enough is enough and it is finished. But for the most part, if you have doubts, you should revisit them. Oh, I'm going to get a red light here. Beautiful, baby. So I'm getting ready to lay down a rough vocal for a verse that I wrote this morning. I worked on it for probably about 5 or 6 hours, and for the first like 3 or 4 hours or so, I only had one line. And it was getting a little bit discouraging, but then I thought, okay, once things start happening and once I get these words and they're great, it'll make all this time worthwhile. And sure enough, after about 5 hours, maybe 6 hours, things started happening, things started flowing, and I'm pretty happy with the words that I got right now. So this is the setup that I use for doing vocals. Right here I have a music stand that holds my lyric sheet so that you don't hear the paper rustling. Over here is a shelf that I made that can hold my portable keyboard where I can trigger my computer that's in the control room. And I also have a headphone stand, and on one of these two shelves I can put a drink or a cup of tea or something so that can lubricate my voice. So this little ASIO keyboard has become a lifesaver for me. I just started using it fairly recently, and it's so cool because I can take it over here for the vocals, or if I'm doing guitars and I'm sitting down, I could take it with me, or I could take it back to the drums with me.
I used to have to run back and forth from the control room, and that was a real pain in the butt. And then I used a keyboard that had a chord on it, which was better, but it was still kind of a pain in the ass. But this thing is super, super cool. I highly recommend that you get one of these. It has a little dongle that you just put into a USB port, and then you can take this all around the studio with you. All right, let's lay one down and see how it sounds. Now, I'm going to be reading it off of a lyric sheet here, but I never, ever, ever like doing this on a final vocal because I don't feel that you get the performance if it's not memorized. If you're reading it off of a paper, your performance is going to lack, surely. So I highly recommend that you have it memorized for the final vocal.
We tore it up alright, squeezed every drop of life out of time's in flight. I remain here undefined, legendary laughs in one last pint, raving silent into night.
So that's pretty much it for the lyrics. I still have to work on one small section, but you can see that in the next one, which I plan on doing a video on the mixing and the mastering process, as well as the releasing and the copywriting. Thanks for tuning in. This has been an amazing experience for me. God bless Keith Flint and his family, and may he rest in peace. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video with other musicians and producers so that they can see the process as well. Thank you very much. Peace, guys.